You know those nights where you really want to impress your guests? This is what you make them. The dish is called Beef Tataki Truffle Ponzu, inspired by my time working at Nobu London. It's lean, delicate, but at the same time refined and indulgent. Let's get into it. First, you're going to start by chopping the tops and bottoms off a sweet potato and peeling it. I'm using a white sweet potato, native to Portugal, where I'm cooking. But if you're using an orange sweet potato, that's of course also great. Once you've got the skin off, try and form this into a rectangle. What we're making here is a garnish called sweet potato firecracker, and it's easily one of the most interesting things I took away from the kitchens at Nobu. Now you want to get out your trusty mandolin. If you don't have one of these, no worries, they sell them on Amazon. So run your sweet potato rectangle down the mandolin, and you want to get these wafer-thin pieces. You can see here mine's still a bit too thick, so we just need to adjust it, get it a bit thinner, and give it another go. You can see I'm quite happy with the piece I've just done here. Thickness is probably just under about a millimeter or so. Once you've got it to that point, you basically just want to run through the rectangle and start stacking up these thin slices until you're left with a wedge here, which kind of looks like a large wad of cash. Now separate these out. You kind of don't really want them much taller than around a centimeter each. So you can see here I've got 3 separate stacks. And then with your knife, you just want to be slicing these lengthways to get these sort of sweet potato hairs, sort of looking like really thin cheese strings. If you're under 30, you may not get the reference, but essentially you want long stringy bits that are super fine. Go ahead and run through the lot, and you can see here in the bowl what I'm left with as the end result. Nice thin delicate strands. So now it's time to heat up some oil. Go ahead and get some vegetable oil, sunflower oil, some sort of oil for deep frying. Fill up a pan and get that oil up to temp by whacking it on high. And once it's been on high for about 5 minutes, then you want to bring it down to sort of medium heat, and then just let the oil sit there and have it on this medium heat for another 5 minutes or so. Now after that's done, you need to test if the oil is the right temperature. With a pair of chopsticks, pick up some of these sweet potato strands, drop them in the oil, and you want them to start fizzing and bubbling and reacting with the oil, but not cooking too quickly. That means that it takes roughly 30 to 40 seconds for the bubbles to stop appearing, and at that point you can pull the strands out and lay them out onto a cloth or some kitchen towel. So test is done, oil's a good temp. Now it's time to go in with the rest. Again, I'll do this in around 3 to 4 batches, just in case I get some of them wrong. If you keep them in the oil for too long or the oil is too hot, they can sort of brown a bit. So best to separate the batches so at least you come out with something, even if you mess one of the batches up. You can see here one of the telltale signs that it's ready to come out is that the bubbles have stopped appearing. So you can pull this batch out and go in with some more. Honestly guys, this garnish or element of the dish may seem a little bit extra, but I promise you it is going to wow your guests like no tomorrow if you can pull it off. Like even just knowing how to cook this in of itself, if you can do this, it really shows your proficiency as a chef, and it just looks super impressive once it's on the plate. Now onto the beef. We've got some incredible Argentinian fillet here. Of course, it doesn't have to be from Argentina, but try and get the best quality fillet you can. And I'm simply marinating in any neutral oil, it's fine. I'm using vegetable, some soy sauce, and some black pepper. So once this is all applied, give it a good rub. Make sure all the ingredients are evenly incorporated. And from here, I'm gonna put them onto a circular wire mesh grill that I've got. And if you don't have one of these, I definitely recommend getting one. Again, you can get these easily from Amazon, but if you don't have one to hand, of course, yes, you can barbecue it. You can also even sear it in a pan. Just try and make sure whichever medium you're using, it's as searing hot as possible. So for me, I can get this up to temp pretty quickly. I'm doing roughly 30-45 seconds, and then at that point flipping it over another 30-45 seconds, and that's it. Take it off the heat onto a plate. We're not trying to cook the beef here. All we're doing is just sort of searing the edges. That way it imparts incredible charred, smoky, fire-kissed flavor and gives it a nice little color contrast from the outside to the inside. What I mean by that is the outside will look like it's cooked, but the inside will be rare, succulent, and beautiful. So after a few minutes, I've already run through the lot, and now it's time to move on to the truffle ponzu sauce. So get yourself a lemon strainer. I personally just love straining my lemon juice out with tea strainers, but of course, use your hands, Mexican elbow, whatever floats your boat. So first go in with the juice of 1 lemon. Match the same amount with agave syrup. Go in with 3 tablespoons of light soy sauce, a teaspoon of good quality truffle oil. Don't get the cheap stuff. and then give it a good swirl about. This dressing is going to be salty, sweet, heavy on the umami from the truffle, and then brought to life by the sharpness from the lemon juice. So the beef's been resting whilst you made that sauce. Now take it over to a chopping board and you just want to slice it at a diagonal angle, somewhere between 1/2 centimeter and centimeter slices, and you can see just how tender, beautiful and delicious this beef is looking now. Once you've sliced through the lot, grab your sweet potato firecracker and you basically just want to form it with your hands into a sort of nest or dome. Center this in the middle of a plate. Then from here, you just grab the beef and angle it around the nest to create a sort of beef style fan all the way around in a full circle. Then it's time to give this some real flavor. So grab your truffle ponzu sauce and start pouring it down inside the nest. I can't tell you how delicious this is going to taste, guys. Then as a final garnish, I've just added some finely sliced up coriander stem and then something called togarashi, which is a really nice Japanese garnish. Again, if you want to make your food look stunning, just order some of this online and have it in the pantry. It's a dry stock, so it will have a long shelf life. And there you have it. What a dish. Sub to the channel for more like this, and I'll see you for the next one.